Okay, so good morning, everyone. Welcome to Bueller and Friends Business Success Training with Relive. And my name's Louise Kohl. And today is the 11th of January, 2020. Oh my goodness. So just let's take a couple of minutes with you on the phone to share some exciting stuff that's happened in the last week. Just anything and everything. If you know, let's hear it. What have y'all got to share? We'll take a couple of minutes.
This is Eileen Tesh from
Yes.
Michigan.
Awesome, Eileen.
Yes, and what a blessing. I mean, that's why we do what we do. Over the holidays, I reconnected with a woman that I had met 10 years ago, and she had been on Relive for a little while. She decided to get back on the Relive, get started again, and she had some knee issues. And then she talked to her friend, Alicia, who is a breast cancer survivor and really looking to get healthy. And Alicia got started, and it's just been so grateful.
Yes.
Company, the products, and to be able to give people hope and impact their life.
Isn't that awesome? What a blessing. Thank you for sharing, Eileen. It's like a ripple effect. You know, you just open your mouth and this ripple effect happens and people are affected in such a positive way. It's just so exciting. That's awesome. And 10 years, isn't it great that you can say, yep, still doing Relive?
Yep, you bet.
That's awesome. Thanks for sharing, Eileen. Anyone else?
This is Luann. Can you hear me, Louise?
Yes, yes. Thank you.
Yes. I'm always excited about Relive. You know, I was listening to the ambassador call, and that even made me more excited. They talked a lot about younger people and bringing younger people and teaching them about Relive. And I have a lot of young people that come in my home to help my mom as aides. And one of the things that they do that for is because they like their time freedom. And so I started talking to Tristan, is her name, and she said, I'm very interested in learning more about Relive. And I was telling her how Tom was working with these younger generation. And she said, you know, that's the reason I do CNA work, is because I like that time freedom. And so I think that's really important. I think sometimes we forget about time freedom and, you know, focus on products and opportunity and everything, but you know, what really is the opportunity? And so anyway, I'm excited because she's excited, and anyone that comes into my house, you know, sometimes they're catching colds or whatever, and I just send them out with a cup and Relive in it. So yeah, it's awesome.
That's wonderful. That's wonderful. And thanks for sharing that, because I think that we all want time freedom, but we don't think about it because it's what we wanted, and now we're here, and you know, we're just, you know, moving along, but we need to stop and remember what we wanted also. Thanks for sharing that. That's awesome. And I'm so excited about Relive always being on the cutting edge of where we're at culturally, you know, where we are in our time frame of business and the generations. It's wonderful. I love Relive. Anyone else? Okay.
Hi, Louise. Roger Rodriguez here.
Oh, Roger. Yes.
Yes. Hi. Good morning, everyone. It's a couple days ago, I went to the store to go look for pants. You know, my weight loss journey is continuing, and so far I've dropped 160 pounds. So really, really excited. But
that's a lot.
Yeah. And that's over the course of 7 years. So it's not over the course of like a few months. So 7 years. And so finally decided pants I was wearing, I'm like, they're getting a little loose, and you know, it's time to drop a size. Let's go to the store. And let's try something on. And was able to finally get into size 40 pants, which I have not done in at least probably 20 years.
Wow, that is so awesome.
Is really exciting. Yeah. And just like women have issues with different brands and sizing, men have the same issues too. So I was finally able to find a brand that I used to wear, and like, let me try this on, and the 40 fit just perfectly. And I tried the 42. The 42 was too loose, and the 40 was perfect. So it just definitely made me excited.
Oh, I'm excited for you. I'm excited for you. That is just so awesome. So awesome.
Thank you.
And Roger, I just have a question about trying on, because this is my mindset. I'm like, okay, I'm going to get, I'd like to be this size, but I'm going to get this bigger size because really I don't want to have to go out of the fitting room again. So I take both, and I love it when the larger size is too big and
I did too. It felt so great. Felt so great.
Oh, I love it. Thanks so much for sharing that. That's just, I love that. It's a wonderful.
Thank you, Louise.
And your perseverance over 7 years. Congratulations. Congratulations
Thank you
for that.
Thank you so much.
That's huge.
So it is.
Anyone else? All righty. Well, we're going to go on then. And right away, let's just talk about what's coming up. This is so exciting. Dallas on Valentine's Day. Yay. I mean, be surrounded by love in this company that I love. Dallas 14-15 coming up. And there's just a lot of excitement that's going to be shared. I'm listen to the ambassador call, listen to the last commit to success call, and because Tom Pinnick was on there talking about what's going to be shared. And I just love how Relive is always forward thinking, forward moving, forward. And it's a train. When I first got started in the business, I heard people talk about it's a train going somewhere, and it's going to go with or without you. And I was thinking in analogies and everything. In the years that I have been with Relive, it's always moved forward, always moved forward. And I'm so glad I got on. I'm so glad I got on. There are times I've wanted to get off, but it was going too fast. So I just stayed on. And so everyone, I just, the airfares from, I don't know about from anywhere else, but from Washington, they're pretty decent. So have a look and go for it. So let's get started with our training. I do want to let you all know, I'm doing training. I'm, IXR. We're going to go through that whole thing, but there is a little bit of a different tack that I'm taking, and it's all because of conversing with some customers and distributors. And what happened was I was in a meeting, a business networking meeting, and we were doing a workshop of presentations, writing your presentation. And this would be writing a presentation for a group of people who are not in your business, telling them what you do, how you do it, just giving a presentation so that they are thinking of people they can refer. So we were all given, we were broken into group of threes, and we all had about 15 minutes to put together a 6-minute presentation. We presented it to each other, and then we got feedback. So I presented mine. I've been in this group for over almost a decade. And so I presented mine to these two people, and then we would get feedback. Well, the feedback I got was really interesting. And it was basically, it wasn't even gentle. It was the one fellow said, Louise, that was all fine, but I didn't hear any story. And the only reason I even was interested in what you had to say was because of your story. And he told me my story as if I had just told it to him. And he has been on the product for as long as I have been in that group. Then the other person, a woman, said the same thing, but she repeated another part of my story, and she said, and both of them said, it's the story, because when you tell your story, you share your passion. The rest of it, we don't care about. And I was really impacted by that. And I thought about this training, and yes, our training is a training whereby we go through the identify, connect, share, ask, and register, IXR. But I thought it's important to share passion, and our passion is our story. All of us have a story, and it's not just health and it's not just business. It's both. It's what ignited us. So I'm going to go through this, and then I've got several people that I have asked to share their story. And what's really exciting is I like the fact that it's a plethora of people from different generations, from different lengths of time in the business, from different levels in the business as well. So, and everybody's got amazing stories to share. So let's just go ahead and get started with the basic training, and then we get to the stories. But I wanted to let you guys know, because it really is all about new people and what draws new people. What draws new people is what I heard as feedback was my story. And we have our elevator stories, we have our 1-minute presentation stories, and this isn't practicing your 1-minute presentation. This is about sharing your passion, because I want everybody to just get excited about what Relive is doing worldwide. That's like the stories that we already heard, the excitement that we already heard. So we fuel our business with new people, and how does that happen? But we have this pattern, and it's just go through 1 through 5, identify, connect, share story, ask for a decision and register, follow up and repeat. And you go through it again and repeat and repeat. And they are, these are the 5 fundamentals, and you do them every day, each day and every day. And here's the other part. Plugging people in through, because they got excited because of your story, plugging people in and helping them to go through the 5 and 6 steps and repeat, and holding their hand and doing it together. It's they are truly daily fundamentals. So we start with identifying. So there's a number of ways to identify. Every time you think of somebody, you meet somebody, it may not be right away. You meet Joe Blow, and Joe Blow, the first thing you say is, I've got something for you. Well, maybe you should listen. Maybe we should learn about Joe Blow a little bit. But you walk away and you're thinking, Joe, from what he shared, product, or from what he shared, business. Luann talked about Tristan, who came in. Tristan wants time. Well, we're talking business there. No doubt she could use the product. Know that works. Everybody has that need, but the initial one, why did you think of them? And when you tell them why you thought of them, you write down why you thought of them, you look at it, and you're like, okay, who are the next people? Who are the next people? Who am I going to meet today who's going to be part of my leadership? Who's the next business partner? I just pray for open heart and open mind to be open to receiving. And but there's always new people to talk to. You know, I had an idea that people at my church, everybody knew, and I was like, oh, who would I talk to at church? And there's new people all the time at church. There are people I've talked to whose issues have changed, and that happened to me recently. And there's family, friends, work, church, school, social media, all of that. There's any number of ways to add to your list, and you know, find ways to add to your list. That just know that you're going to add to your list, and that the ways will come to you. They will absolutely come to you. So when you identify with them, you identify who they are, and you want to, and you're ready to connect. The first question I'm asked is, what do I say? Well, why'd you think of them? Why'd you think of them? That's the most authentic and natural way to connect with people. I thought of you because you said this, and you know, let's get together. I had a gentleman call me yesterday. His wife is a homeopath. He has been a customer of mine for 3 years, very consistent customer, just him, not the rest of his family. And he's a family of 7. And he's the only one who doesn't get sick year after year after year. And his wife, who is a homeopath, he will talk to me about it, and I'm like, fine. But he called me yesterday because his wife told him to meet with me to find out more about this business. Okay, happy to do that. It comes from anywhere and everywhere, you know. So you just don't get hung up on what you're supposed to say, finding any of these things. Just be yourself and share your excitement and your passion. And if you don't feel like you have passion right now, just think about what the products have done for you, or what you've been able to do because of this business. It's a really good thing. It's a good thing to know how many people you've touched. Just count them. It will just lift you up, not to pat you on the back, but to be grateful that you are in this industry, in this business, and that you have this opportunity to give. So you set the appointment, and here are some suggestions. They're all fine. Mine is, hey, how are you? I just keep it really simple, and just let the conversation flow. But the tools, using tools, are huge. So the sharing the Relive story, you share your why and your belief and your heart. You share the whole story of Relive, not necessarily when the company got started, Dr. Ted's story, you know, going through all the products and what all the details are, because people are rolling their eyes. But what value and what benefit, what will benefit them, and what value is there for them that Relive has? And that comes, I was just blown away. That comes from your story initially, and your upline story. And when you're brand new, you don't necessarily have a story, but you do have a story because you're new, and something attracted you. That's a story. So yes, it's important to have to be working with your team so that the new people know, these new people know that you're not working alone and they're not going to be working alone. That is huge. We have a wonderful community in Relive, but it's about the story. So there's a number of different ways to share to share the Relive story at all the different meetings and events and in-home parties, webinars, Zoom meetings like this one, conference calls, all of these things. And you don't have to know it all, but you do need to know where to get it. So knowing that, and I have, I started the recording, so I don't know that everybody's on, but here is the lineup of Facts Tell, Stories Sell. And it's all because of what my friends and customers and distributors told me that I was missing when I was doing this presentation. I was a draft presentation, and I just went, yes, let's talk stories. So the first one, we're going to go with Rachel and Roger and Lauren. Sorry, I kind of sprung that on you. Robert, I will tell my story. Luann, Eileen, and then Quila. I didn't hear Quila on the phone, but Quila, if you're on. Here. Oh, good, good. Okay. So Quila, I also said you were going to be first, but I reversed it on you, so I'm sorry. Anyway, so Rachel, are you there? If you would, if you're on the phone, *6 to come on, or just speak up. And we'd love
I'm here.
To hear the story. Oh, thank you.
You're welcome. So, hi everybody. My name is Rachel Jones. I'm originally from San Diego, California, but I currently live in Long Beach. I'm an entertainer and a stunt performer, actually. I got into Relive about, I would say, a little over 2 years ago because my right knee got injured doing a stunt. And honestly, I also wanted to get a good handle on my health, which honestly, it's never too late to start. And I honestly immediately felt better. My knee wasn't hurting anymore. I was sleeping better. I had more energy. I was making healthier choices, and it was wonderful. And then about a year ago, this past December, I got injured again, except this time it was way more severe. I broke my heel doing a stunt at Knott's Berry Farm, and it was very much a life-changing injury for me. But Relive helped me get my life back. A year ago today, I wasn't walking. I was in crutches. I was in a cast because I was healing. But yesterday, I got to go to Disneyland, and I walked around the entire day with little to no pain. It was just, I mean, I even surprised myself at how much I was, walking normally. And honestly, it's all because of Relive. I wouldn't be where I am if not for Relive. I'm still fairly new at being a distributor. I have talked to a few people about starting the products, and I'm so excited to start, learning more about the business because this is really, really unique. I've never met a more kind, caring, and generous group of people, and I'm so thankful to be a part of this group. It's just wonderful, and I can't wait to see how far I'm going to go with this business.
Awesome, Rachel. And I'm so happy that you're all healed, that you could walk all over Disneyland. That's a long.
Yeah, it was a long day, but it was so much fun.
Oh,
I really liked it.
That's wonderful. Thank you so much for sharing your story. Really appreciate it.
You're very welcome.
And Roger.
Hello, my name's Roger Rodriguez from La Puente, California, and I was overweight most of my adult life. About 8 years ago, I stepped on the scale just after New Year's, and I knew exactly what I weighed, or at least I thought I knew what I weighed. And the scale scared me because it said 400 pounds. I said, that doesn't read 260, so I need to do something. A few months later, I was introduced to Relive, and my life has been changed completely. Was able to drop 55 pounds over 4.5 years and got really excited about that. And then something came along called Fit3 that has completely changed my life. And have been able to drop 105 pounds because of that over the course of the last 3 years, and just really got excited about it, and just never thought that I would, be on a weight loss journey, which the most incredible support ever. And just really excited, and people see the change in me, and I've always been a happy person, but they see me as a happier person, and just my attitude towards life has been completely changed, and I'm really excited to see where the future goes, because it's still not done.
Awesome. Well, no doubt people see the change in you, but also you're as happy as you are. There's a deeper happiness now, and
yes, indeed.
That is so awesome. Thank you, Roger. Thank you.
Thank you.
Lauren?
Hello and good morning.
Thank you.
You're very welcome. Always happy to share. Hi, everyone. This is Lauren Laird. I live in Garden Grove, California, and I work at Disneyland and was actually there till like 12:30 this morning. But that is just what Relive has given me, is just this abounding energy to just be well and keep going. I thought I was young and healthy 11 years ago when Relive was introduced to me. But as most of us learn and realize upon taking Relive, that we're not as young and as healthy as we thought we were. And I noticed with Relive more energy, a stronger immune system, just like I said, this ability to do my job. I mean, I'm working with people in their, young, early 20s, and I'm just able to work harder and do more and with more energy and just keep going. And I'm so incredibly thankful for Relive. Fit3 came along and got invited to be a part of the trial, and I've just learned to love the fit lifestyle. It was not something I had any interest in before, but I work out on my lunch. And I just absolutely love Relive. So I'm super thankful, and we'll never stop.
Thank you so much, Lauren. That it's just so wonderful to hear your story. And you guys, thank you for sharing about Fit3. It's awesome. It's that forward motion of Relive, where they're just moving forward to better everybody always. So, okay, Robert, your turn.
Oh, I have to follow that? Okay.
Yes, you do.
Well, my name is Robert Laird, and I'm a Christian television executive, and Relive came into our lives 11 years ago. And it was really after some substantial health problems my parents had. And what I saw happen was I saw my parents get some pretty good health results with the Relive products, and I thought to myself, well, if they work that good on them, imagine what it'd do for everybody else. And so I really saw this as a business opportunity. And so I jumped in at the top profit level thinking that that was the best place to go, because that's what Scrooge McDuck taught me. And really was hoping to make an extra $50 a month, because if I could do $50 a month, I could get gas money. And what I discovered is I went to Disneyland the next day, was excited about what had happened with my parents, and I walked away with $50 in profit my first day. My eyes were open to the possibility of this business. Every month since then, we've gotten paid as much as $4,000 in a calendar month. And that just blows my mind, because that's not something that I ever imagined I could do from home, but I always dreamed that it was something that could happen. We've been on trips because of this company. We've also gotten to help the kids of the world with the Relive Cologris Foundation. We just love the impact, both here and abroad, that we make because of this business. The unexpected surprise for me was the products. I really took the products for the integrity of my business, thinking I'm young, I'm healthy. They really aren't going to do anything but prevent something from happening later in life. And what I discovered is my allergies disappeared the following spring. And I went from being the sick kid in class to I haven't been sick in forever. And I just absolutely love how I feel, the energy I have. And we're going to do this forever. One, because we feel great, but also it feels great to help people.
Oh, awesome. Thank you, Robert. I love your story. I love it. And I'm Louise Kohl. I am going to share my story, and it started, let's see, we're in 2020. I just had my anniversary, so that was 18 years ago. Or is it 17? Anyway, it doesn't matter. when I was introduced to Relive, I was actually homeschooling all my children, and I was trying to figure out a way to pay for music lessons. We had cut down our income so that I could be home to homeschool, but I just felt music was such a big part of curriculum, and just needed a few $100s. And along came Relive. I did not think anything was wrong with me, but I started hearing stories. I heard stories of people getting results from things that I'd never heard of. And when I asked them what the condition was, I realized they were making a few $100s while they were getting better. Some of them still almost bedridden. I thought, well, there's nothing wrong with me, so I should be able to make a couple $100s a month. And came in at the highest profit level and put everybody on the product in the family. Everybody in the product got great results within 30 days, from chronic headaches, elbow tendonitis, depressed immune system, eczema, attention issues. And that was great. But me, I saw no change. I saw nothing change with me, but I did have a return on my investment, and I profited for over $400 from a company check in the mailbox. So I was like, okay, I'm in. This is great. But 4.5 months later, after continuing to take the product consistently and correctly, my husband pointed out that I wasn't limping anymore. And he said, you're not limping for the first time in 2 years. What's going on? How's your Achilles tendonitis? And I'm like, oh, right. I was diagnosed 2 years ago, told I had to have surgery, refused surgery, was given pain medication, didn't touch the pain, quit that. And then I quit moving, because if I didn't move, I didn't hurt. So when Relive found me, I was just really sedentary. There was nothing wrong with me because I wasn't doing anything. And here I was, 4.5 months after being on the product, and I didn't even know what leg was supposed to hurt. And the stairs I had not been up and down for over a year, I ran up and down, no pain. And so I was excited. I was so excited. And fast forward that, our income has been over $5,600 in a month, which has been amazing because it spins really nicely. And at 8 years older on Relive, I started running, and then I started doing marathons, and I have an award, my 4th marathon, that I actually got an age award for being the oldest, for coming in first in my age group. And when I asked how many in my age group, I was told just me. But I took it anyway because, hey, who gets better as they age? I love Relive because I can positively affect people both physically and financially. What better way to do that and affect the children? I love our Carlogos Foundation, and when I run, I see those little faces. I run for them. So that's my story. How about you, Luann?
I get better with age. Yes, as I'm older. My name is Luann Piccarelli, and I live in Orem, Utah. And when I was introduced to Relive, I was not looking for a business. My friend told me about it for the products, and I was good with that. My husband and I owned and operated an automotive business, and we were literally controlled by that business. I was functioning, I didn't have energy, and it was survival mode when Relive found me. So I took a look at the products because I have to stay well. My body's allergic to chemicals, and decongestants for sinus even would put me in bed for 3 days. And so, I learned it was easier not to breathe than not function. And so that's where I was when my friend told me about Relive. So I started on the products, and I could breathe. I could breathe so clear. I had no idea you could breathe like that. In my whole life, I hadn't been able to breathe so clearly. And then my doctor told me that surgery was my only option. I have degenerative disc disease from several car accidents I was in. And so I was scheduled for surgery, and being on these products, by the time I got to the neurosurgeon, he said, I don't know about Relive, but obviously it's working for you. I'm not recommending surgery for you. So was I excited? Absolutely. No time off from that business that I couldn't afford to leave. And, you know, my body wasn't going to have that recovery process. It was going to take me longer because of all the chemicals that I would be going through. And I was excited, you know, I mean, I got other results, osteoporosis improved, skin issues improved, you know, my immune system got stronger, wasn't getting bronchitis every spring and fall. So I had a lot of health results. But I will tell you, I put my mom on these products because I had the results I had. And that was a bigger result to me than my own. And she was looking at dialysis with one kidney that was functioning under 30% capacity. And 3 months on these products, her only kidney was functioning over 50% capacity. And she avoided dialysis. And I remember coming out of that dialysis unit that my father had gone to for 10 years. And he had no life. Legs were amputated and a stroke, and he lost the use of an arm. And he had no quality of life. My mom is now 93. And not living that life my dad died from, thanks to Relive. And so, you know, not only that, but a business was born for me because these products are so awesome and they work. Every time someone put them in their body, in my business, advertising agents and whoever came into my office, they would see my shaker cup sitting there and they'd say, oh, I'm tired. They'd be falling asleep. And I'd say, I used to do that, but I don't do that anymore. And so they'd say, what did you do? And I'd tell them, I just drink this. And they'd say, get me some. And so a business was born. And that was the best blessing in my life, because when that business happened with Relive, I started handling our other business better. I didn't feel stressed. I handled things better. My mental attitude was better, just not my physical. And then I earned a trip to Malaysia, and that totally changed my life because I saw even greater depth of what these products can do. And so when we, you know, I said to my husband, can we go on that trip? We hadn't had a vacation in 16 years because that automotive business owned us. He said, I'll close the doors, Luann, before I'll miss that trip. And I will tell you, going to Malaysia, and then to Hawaii, that was a dream that we had never been able to have, but Relive paid for all of it. We never paid a penny. And they treated us like gold. And then we earned a trip on a Disney cruise. And I will tell you, the trips are awesome, but what I have now are memories I would not have had of my husband sailing the ocean on the balcony of that cruise ship, sitting in his underwear, enjoying just that open space. And, you know, I've made as much as $7,000 in a single month, $4,000 bonus, 200, 500, you know, I get bonuses all the time. I get a weekly paycheck. I am so grateful my friend told me about Relive.
Oh, Luann, that's awesome. Thank you. Thank you for sharing your passion. I'm getting all choked up here myself. Thank you so much. And now, Eileen, are you there?
I'm here.
Oh, I'm so excited to hear your story.
Oh, thank you for inviting me. Always an honor. It's been 13 years since we learned about Relive. My name is Eileen Tesh. I live in Algonac, Michigan with my husband, Jim Tesh. At the time, I was running a very busy law firm. I'm an attorney. I was an attorney, stressed out, burned out, working 80, 100 hours a week. And really, I thought they were going to bury me in that office because that's the only thing I knew how to do. I started a couple other businesses that didn't go too well. But I was not really interested in this opportunity. Couldn't wrap my brain around it, but we got started with the products. And in 2 weeks, I quit smoking. By the end of the month, lost about 8 pounds. My depression disappeared. My skin cleared up. Even my esthetician started using it in her spa. And not only for the skin, but she had some arthritis and back pain. My husband is a veterinarian. He was suffering from severe painful diverticulitis, sleep apnea, carpal tunnel syndrome. He was scheduled for surgery and bone on bone in his knees. I mean, at one point they had to remove 90 mLs of fluid. And I saw the pain in his face. But he could not afford, he had just built a new hospital. He could not afford to take any time off for surgery. And, you know, there's a lot of horror stories out there of people that have had knee replacement surgery in particular, not to mention, you know, other surgeries. So he got started on the product reluctantly, being a doctor. He said, oh, I take vitamins. And I'm like, well, how's that working for you? So I said, I'll just make the shakes. I've heard some stories. I don't know a lot, but let's see what happens. And very religious, 2 shakes a day. By the end of the first month, he was not snoring so much. He woke up rested and more energy. And to this day, 13 years later, he's never had carpal tunnel surgery or knee replacement surgery.
Wow.
Yeah, no diverticulitis. In fact, he was so impressed with the effectiveness and safety and quality of the products that he started using it in his practice with the animals and saw results with arthritis, allergies, and even cancerous tumors. When I mentioned the business to him, that didn't go over too well. Because we were both busy, and this is not what we've been trained to do. We knew nothing about this network marketing, except that it wasn't for us. However, there was a special event 13 years ago, for those who've been around. 13 years ago, they launched the
You're cutting out just a little bit, Eileen. So if you're moving around,
I'm always moving around.
Okay.
How's that?
Okay, that's better.
Okay. They launched the product Glucofect, and I didn't know anything about diabetes, but we went to Chicago and went to that conference, and everything changed. My husband was so impressed with the science, the clinical studies, got up close and personal talking to the scientists and corporate leaders, but most importantly, the people. And these people were different. I just said, no matter what they're doing, to be part of this is really, I believe, going to change our lives. Just their excitement, their passion, and I could help a lot of people, more people than I could ever help practicing law. So I came back, and around my very busy schedule, started working with my mentor and learning the system and hearing more stories and connecting people. Our first month, we earned about $1,000, but it was the lives that were changed, and people. One young mother, I got her a divorce. Her little girl had ADD and ADHD. She was able to get, after I connected her with my mentor, she got off the medication with the doctor's blessings. He started carrying it in his pediatric practice, and she made about $1,500 in her first month.
Wow.
And that's when it went from my head to my heart. So I got intentional. In 3 years part-time, I resigned from the law firm. My husband has since sold his practice, his hospital. We do this full-time. We love what we do. The money's great. The trips, I haven't missed a trip 10 years. When I got serious and went full-time and knew that, you know, with this system, we could earn these trips because it's a level playing field for everyone. But the greatest gift, not only our health, but this opportunity, this company has given me is passion and purpose back in my life. And that is priceless.
Nice. Nice. Eileen, that's awesome. Thank you so much for sharing. Really appreciate you getting on. Thank you. Thank you. And Kyla, are you there?
I'm here. I'm here.
Awesome. So I would love to hear your story.
I was walking around the house. I'm gonna try to stay in one spot.
It's hard, I know.
I know. I so just loved hearing all the stories and how Relive impacts everyone. And I think everyone comes into Relive for different reasons of how it touched their life. And for us, I got great results on these products. I was dealing with a very debilitating autoimmune disease that pretty much left me not able to do anything. And we had spent thousands of dollars on trying to help me on doctor's appointments and pills and potions and powders and goos and I mean everything you could think of, and nothing was helping me. And then I was introduced to Relive, and that was in November of 1991. And what happened was that I got on these products, and I wasn't expecting anything because I had tried so many other things. And I told the individual to, actually it was a chiropractor, to don't cash my check because I'm going to get my money back. And he said, okay. And what I realized was that the very first night, I slept through the night. And that's something I hadn't done for as long as I could remember. And I called him and I said, I was taking 10 times the amount of what's in these products. And he said, well, you could take 20 times the amount, but if your body doesn't absorb anything, it doesn't matter. So I was pretty excited, and I continued to take the product. And I took a lot of shakes. My body really wanted it. And so he said, just take it. And so I did. And within a year, all of the symptoms that I had been dealing with had pretty much lifted. And if you fast forward all of those years, it'll be, I think we're going into our 29th year now. 28, 29. And here's the thing. I mean, for 30 years, I love chocolate and I love apples, but there's been days that I don't eat chocolate or I don't eat apples. But there's never been days that I've ever missed my Relive shakes. I mean, I love these products. Our whole family got great results. My husband, my children, my grandchildren, we all take Relive. And I mean, for the most part, we're all extremely healthy. And I love that aspect of, you watch on TV all these ads about all these drugs and stuff. And it's like, I don't know what that, I just can't imagine what that would be like, because we've been so blessed being on these products. Well, what happened, Louise, is that people noticed my benefits, and they were very visual, and they wanted to know, kind of like how Luann said, I'm not tired. I had energy. Well, for me, I really didn't see anything, but people were coming up to me and they said, you look really good. What's going on? What are you doing? And I said, I'm just taking this stuff. And they wanted it. And so at that time, I was referring them to my doctor. My husband's a business major. He got wind of that. And he said, why are you doing that? And I said, well, why not? And he said, Pilot, he goes, this is the business we've been looking for. And we had been looking for a business. We were actually going to buy a Dunkin' Donut franchise. We had saved all our money. We were going to mortgage the house and do all these things. And here comes Relive, this business that we could do out of our home, around our family. And originally we had looked at it mainly to supplement our retirement, but it ended up being much more than that. We came into the business in December of 1991, and we came in at the highest profit level. We recouped our investment in about 3 weeks. That got my attention because that was right, it was holidays, and I thought, I wonder if this would really do anything, because most people are saving their money and they want to, buy presents and all that. But we recouped that master affiliate order, and so then the very first year I thought, I can do 6 to 8 hours a day around my kids. I'm going to do this 5 days a week, and let's see what happens. Well, we earned $20,000. And when you think about it back then, that $20,000 was an incredible amount of spending power back then. And so then the next year, just did the exact same thing, and we doubled our income. And we continued to do that. And for 5 years, our income got up over $100,000 a year. And I'm going to tell you, Louise, it's been such a blessing to our family. And I think the needle on the head, or however you would say it, is that none of us would earn any income if people were not consuming the products. Right. And that's what I love, because everyone that shares their business story and hear all these, insurmountable numbers, they're all based because we went out and we talked to one person who talked to one person, and that just continued to build. And again, you're hitting it right on the head. It is all about stories. And that is what touches people's hearts. It's not all the other facts. It's what they feel, and that's what they remember. So, anyway, thanks for letting me share. We love Relive, and I just can't believe such a long time, almost 30 years. So.
It's a long time. And I love the fact that, you know, here Rachel shared, she's just basically new, and the potential and the possibility 29 years later, there is Quila, and just having great health. That doesn't mean that, you know, any of us have been without our health challenges, but we don't go to the drugs. we can just take a little bit more product, or it's,
You know, Louise, I'm
like,
going to be six. I was going to say I'm going to be 60 this year, and I'm in better shape than I was when I was in my mid-20s. And you know, who's to think? I mean, every year my blood work improves. I mean, last year it was my triglycerides lowered by 50 points. I mean, it was amazing how, and I've always had. Anyway, with the lunar, there's different products that have helped me in different ways. And who's to say that you can continue to get better? I'm not on any medication. What are we supposed to feel like? I mean, I know that to a lot of people on the call, we would be antiques. I mean, what are we supposed to feel like?
It's true, but you know, we're antiques without medication. How's that?
I know. I love it. So anyway, thank you. Thanks for letting me share.
Thank you so much, Quila. Thank you very much. It's stories I'm so excited from hearing these stories. It's just, you guys, thank you so much for sharing. And our time is coming to an end. So let's get back to the, you know, we've shared the story, the value that the person who has heard the story or stories, the value that it has for them. The benefit for them is through a conversation of understanding what they are looking for. They may not even know. They may not be looking for anything, but in hearing what their needs are, we have something to offer. And these stories give them value, and they're thinking, this could happen for me. That's what I heard when I heard these stories, and when I heard the stories just right now, I'm like, this can happen for me. And I have people that will really benefit from hearing these stories. And a lot of times people will say, I want what you have. I want that. That's what I'm looking for. So we need to be prepared. We need to be prepared with the tools and the products. The great thing for me is having the app. If you don't have the app, get the app. The Relive app is, I have it right in my hands, and a lot of times, most of the time, that is something that the person I'm talking to can relate to better than me, is the app. So I feel very modern because I have the app, and get them started, get them started on that, get them signed up, get whatever they want ordered. Just do what they need, not what you think they need, what they need, because you're in service to them. And I don't, yes, forms and, you know, I don't, it's been a long time since I've had a form, except on the back of the PA brochure. Otherwise, I don't have a form, but the people at Relive at the headquarters are so awesome when you call them. I love them all. They're all my best friends. So let's move on. And asking for the decision is, where do you want to get started? It's pretty much of a natural, just let it flow naturally. If you get hung up on what you're going to say next, you're not listening. So it's, and I say that to you, not because I'm lecturing you, it's because I'm talking to myself. I am one that says, okay, so this is what they need, and this is what, and I'm going to fix them. I need to just calm down, slow down, and just listen. And when I'm listening and I engage in eye contact and focus on them, it always is positive. It's always a positive outcome. you know, do they sign up as master affiliates right away? Maybe not right away, but it's a positive outcome because I've made a good connection. When I'm thinking about what they need to do because of my agenda, then I'm not helping them at all. I'm not giving, and I want to be a giver. So, you know, if they're interested in the business, awesome. We've got tools. We've got people to introduce them to. You know, it's all about the relationship. And I was just asked recently by a fellow who's in a different multi-level marketing business, who buys leads. And I'm not saying there's anything against leads, but he says, Louise, how is it that you don't buy leads? How do you get names? And I said, because I ask, who do you know who might be interested in Relive? And I just say in Relive because they already know that there's a business and there's products. And asking who do you know is always adding to your list. People know people. And there have been people who said, well, I don't know anybody. And I went, actually, you do. So just think about it. Who do you know? On the other hand, if it's somebody I don't know well, you know, I let that just simmer, and it comes out. But you know, it's about meeting people where they are, and then it's register and go. And when people get started, it's so exciting. It's so exciting, and it's really great to have product that they can start on. If you don't have it with you right away, be able to get it to them if they're in your location. Otherwise, when they're out of the area and it's sort of a long distance thing. It's 5 to 7 days, and I think that Washington has the longest wait because the people in Hawaii get it in 2 days because it's air dropped to them, and everybody else seems to get it sooner, which is awesome. I think it's great. It's definitely 5 to 7 days in Washington, but when I have adopted Quila's tactic of during that wait, filling them with stories so that when they get that can, they can't wait. They're just like rip the top off and get started right away. There's that excitement. And what is it from? The stories. The stories. So there's a sample of, how to follow up. When you've developed a relationship, it's real natural. It's about developing that relationship. There are some people, I have to say, that I have realized, oh my goodness, I haven't talked to them in a while. They're still taking product. So I give them a call, apologize for leaving them out there on their own. But they love the stories. Everybody always loves the stories. Nobody feels like I'm disrupting them. So it's always important who can benefit from both the products and that. The tools are great. I just wanted, it's the top of the hour now, and I just wanted to say that the one tool that is not on this slide is the decision-making tool. And that is what I use when I'm doing a presentation. And as a result, nobody asks me, is this a pyramid? Because I'm not showing them a pyramid. What they see is all these different levels. And then if I draw anything, I'm drawing a tree with leaves growing and branches and that sort of thing. But it has been it's been a long while since I've been asked, is this a pyramid? And a fellow that I, as a mentor in business coaching, said, if you don't want to hear, is it a pyramid, then don't show them the shape of the pyramid, because multi-level marketing is pretty awesome. So just my favorite is the decision-making tool. So make sure you have plenty of tools. And then of course we've got Dallas coming up and St. Louis in July. Daily activity. It's the one ICSAR, ICSAR, follow up and repeat. And Relive has so much support. In preparing for this training, I watched Jim Shaban and Pam Thielen on the training. It's so awesome. I have sent that to a number of people. It's great. It's great. It's all great. So make sure that you are utilizing the tools of Relive and exposing other people, the new people, to them too. It just makes for such a secure feeling. So engage your team in everywhere. Just keep them all connected. It is about building relationships. The engagement and being a part of this community, there's truly, it's just so wonderful to be a part of the community of Relive. Everybody has their own community. I think this is the best one, but then I am totally jaded. We have, our goals are set for us. Road to presidential. Where are you now? What's your next level? How long? You know, break it down. Break it down to what you need to do, and in the time frame that you've given yourself, what you need to do, and then keep your promise to yourself that this is what you're going to do. And in your organization, who's next? Who's the next key director? Who is stepping up, and who can you lift up and encourage? Because it's so exciting. It's so exciting when somebody that you've introduced, or somebody you've introduced who've introduced somebody else, that someone else is succeeding and lifting up, and their lives are changing. It's so exciting to know you had a little bit of part of that. I feel like, thank you that I got to be a part of this blessing. Thank you. And so it's all about continuing to repeat, engage with people, introducing your new people to this wonderful system that's already there. Hold their hand through it. And there's, decide for yourself when you'll let go. I mean, there's a point where they're like, okay, I got it. But for me, it's when they're at a certain income level. So that, like, okay, you're on your own because you're doing better than me, which is awesome. And then who's next? Who is your next business partner? And so remember, I look for upcoming events. Anybody, in addition to what I'm showing here, does anybody have something to share about a special event or something that's going on in your area? Okay, then Dallas it is. It's Dallas, and I'm going to leave you with this quote to have a great day. Here's Abraham Lincoln. Don't believe everything you read on the internet just because there's a picture with a quote next to it. So I hope you get that. You guys all have a great week. Love you all. Thank you all for sharing, and we're 5 minutes over. So I'm going to end this, stop the recording, and thank you everyone for being a